Watching your interview today, I think it actually gave me an interpretation that I've never had of him before.
Average 257 a gallon. You look at that and you would say, my God, he should be running unopposed. I mean, what?
He's got the thinnest neck I've ever seen.
Welcome back to Tracking That, a channel where we try to track what liberals are saying but end up not being able to as usual. Well, Dr. Phil's highly anticipated interview with President Trump came on last night, and let's just say all the voters are now Team Trump.
So watching your interview today, I think it actually gave me an interpretation that I've never had of him before, and us not seeing him more, it actually kind of hurts people on judging him. I guess if that's what the media wants to do, then they're doing a very good job at it.
I have a lot of Republican friends and a lot of Democratic friends. I'm kind of neutral, but they talked about good versus evil. And I thought, well, we're not really in a Disney movie, so I don't understand. You may not like him. I get that. Now, 4 years later, the same people I know that have said these things say, I'm really upset with my 401k. I'm upset when I go to the grocery store, and they're all voting for Trump now.
This is amazing to see, people starting to open their minds on, there was terrible news coverage of Trump during his presidency, but my 401k was stable, and now that he isn't president, now I'm scraping by the bit to just get by. That's really what the average American is starting to feel. But this interview is nothing but an eye-opener for people. Dr. Phil pulled up statistics of how people were better off under Trump versus Biden, using liberal polls like the Washington Compost.
Everybody calls it inflation, but affordability. When we talk about gasoline, under your administration, average 257 a gallon. Under Biden, 361, 40% more. Under your administration, homes, average $320,000. Under the Biden administration, 31% more, $420,000. Under your administration, interest rates, 3.8 average. Under the Biden administration, 39% more at 5.3%. Okay, now let's look at the border. Under you, average 1.7 million border crossings. Their official number is 6.4. That's from Homeland Security. It's actually about 13 million. You look at that and you would say, my God, he should be running unopposed.
This is exactly the feeling of people that are capable of thinking for themselves. I went into the 2020 election thinking, wow, that was a great set of 4 years. No way in hell would people be too stupid to not vote for him. But then we noticed what should have been illegal mail-in ballots start to trickle in, and magically Biden becoming more popular than the first African-American president, Barack Obama. Now that everyone is able to truly feel the effects of the Biden presidency, people are starting to feel like they were tricked, and now that they are seeing an innocent man that has been through the ringer since 2015 put on trial without due process, now we have voters donating to him at the highest rate ever seen before, $400 million since he was convicted. Even rappers like 50 Cent are getting behind him.
Of yours, you've taken every shot you can imagine. You've been criticized, attacked, called every name in the book. They've turned the judicial system against you. The intelligence community, 51 intelligence officers swear that this is a Russian plant, this laptop over here, right before the election. The media has turned against you, print, TV, radio, internet, in the street. Not campaigning Donald Trump, just real Donald Trump. How do you deal with that stress in your most private moments?
So, two things. Number one, I don't like thinking about it. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I don't want to think about it. Number two, I have tremendous support. I have the people's support. I think if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to handle it so easily. When a judge who has conflicts like nobody's ever had wants to put me in jail, when he puts a gag order and say, if you talk about these things, we're going to put you in jail. And I'm the Republican candidate. I was president. I'm leading the Democrat by a lot. He wants to put me in jail. I like not to think about it.
I don't think the average person could handle taking all the heat. I mean, it's been nonstop with him. But it was touching to see Dr. Phil try to get personal with him, because it's refreshing seeing celebrities with such big shows opening their minds up to Trump, rather than dedicating having a late night show to shitting on him. Plus, believe it or not, Dr. Phil has a higher influence than shows like MSNBC or The View. But an interview with Trump would not be an interview if there wasn't a savage, hilarious moment of him dissing someone. The culprit today is Adam Schiff.
These are not stupid people. I call him Watermelon Head. He's got the thinnest neck I've ever seen. How it holds up that head. He's got a neck that's about a size 6. Very unattractive guy, both inside and outside. And people say, oh, that's such a terrible thing to say. That's okay. Very unattractive guy. Here's the thing. These are bad people. And
That's the face of a man that knows he got a really good clip. Ah, that was great. You can tell he was trying to hold it together. But this brings us to a discussion that shocked Dr. Phil's audience. And it's on censorship because TikTok rejected Dr. Phil on promoting his interview with him on the platform because it may not follow their guidelines, which is incredibly disturbing. When you have the top social media platforms censor speech, remove people from their platform, or flat out remove the leading candidate's interview with Dr. Phil, is disgusting. These major platforms need to be held accountable for limiting freedom of speech.
We put up promos on the social media platforms about the interview for people to watch, and we submitted a promo to TikTok. They said, well, we need to review this to see if it's consistent with community standard. It's just the promo here. I mean, it wasn't saying let's go stomp baby kittens to death or anything. Usually the review is like 10 seconds because they run it through like an algorithm or something and make sure it doesn't have something in it that shouldn't be there. An hour later, the message came back rejected. They would not put it up, which is really disturbing to me because it was just a news promo. But they wouldn't put it up because it had Trump in it. They didn't even know if it was pro or con. It had Trump in it, they wouldn't put it up. That's concerning to me.
I'm glad Dr. Phil is shedding the light on the bias algorithms and human reviewers to average Americans because YouTube actually has this problem too. Want to know why I barely talk about the alphabet community? Because if I even say the words that are related to that community, you can't monetize it, or it says limited ad suitability, and channels like mine are incredibly difficult to monetize. I started, or should I say restarted, this channel last October, and just a few weeks ago could I finally monetize when I was eligible for like half a year. But AI is able to automatically detect speech that could be considered offensive, and I guarantee you that if it detects some of that they make it difficult to find the video even if you're subscribed to it, and they don't remove it so they look good. But a shadow ban is almost identical to a full-on ban. But that's why I've been censoring anytime I see the LG community. I made it to 100k subscribers in about 4 months, and I get significantly less traffic now, and I've had to remove hundreds of shorts on my channel just so I could start monetizing. It's actually barbaric how these social media platforms operate, but let's just say YouTube has shadow banned me and they hate me, but I'll take that as a compliment. I'm gonna wrap this video up with Dr. Phil praising Trump right at the end of the interview on his ability to rally people. And it's pretty clear to me that Dr. Phil is definitely voting for Donald Trump.
Good job, we did.
You have rallied people. I had people in my focus group the other night that said, I have not voted for Trump before, I have not been a Trump fan before, but I have donated to Trump because he has inspired me. I have donated to him and I am voting for him now, and I have not before, but he has inspired me.
Actually, it's been a beautiful thing to watch. Thank you.
Mr. President, it's been an honor
Thank you
speaking
very
with you.
much.